you already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. What's going on, y'all? We are back in the building. Sky Squad, we are back with another edition of BBK News. Big Back Cadillac News. We are back in the building, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. Good morning. You know, when you guys come into the chat, let us know where you're watching from. And of course, as always, I'm going to be putting the comments on the screen. Now, we all know what that means. You say something crazy, you got to go. Okay? If you see somebody say something crazy, say something because they got to go. Okay? So that's that. All right. Big Back Cadillac. Back in the building, y'all. Back in the building. And we are indeed worldwide. Okay. We are indeed worldwide. All right. As you can see, we are rolling in the deep. We are rolling in the deep. Highlighting some people from and where they're from on the screen before we get all the way into the tea. Hey, come on, sip. Come on, sip. Carolina's in the building. The D. The dirty D. UK is in the building. All right, so let's kick this thing off this morning. Rolling with the homies. It's my jam, okay? All right. Let's go. Let's dive on in. We weren't the only ones who noticed that Phaedra was looking a little off. Okay? Looking a tad bit different than the rest of the cast when we talked about the reunion looks from yesterday's. Okay? So we're going to dive a little further deeper into that reunion look. But before we do that, all right, a lot of you guys were asking if Dylan, her son, designed the outfit. He did not. All right. Actually, let me pull up a I actually have the designer information. All the design details. I was gonna pull it up from Phaedra's page, and we still can. But I want to see if all right, I think she posted all of those details as well. But none of these, okay? None of these were Dylan's designs. I'm trying to pull up this hairpiece. Okay. All right. I think I got it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm switching lanes and I'm going into another site, but we're going to get to that in a second. But I just wanted to have it ready. So Chanel Ayan, our resident, all right, resident fashion maven, superstar to the Real Housewives of Dubai. Not the first time she's commented on Phaedra's looks, her looks in terms of her styling. As we do recall, she critiqued Phaedra's fashions on, I think it was it BravoCon? I think it was BravoCon. So this is what she had to say. And listen, we asked the same questions. She says, who did that to Phaedra? Just asking, like, what was the purpose of it? Babes, this is so tacky. I'm not being mean today, just looking out for you. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so let's get into the actual look of it all, because I want to take you over to, I'm going to go to Fashion Bomb Daily. I was going to take you directly to Phaedra's page, but I wanted to discuss this because there was something that I figured out last night with this look. This look is really probably best for photos only. Okay. This is not for moving around in 3D. It is not. Okay. This is a photo shoot outfit only. All right. Now, maybe it's for, the All Hallows Eve. Okay. Maybe it is for, if you are modeling something by this designer, but it is not, you got to dress for where you're going. Okay. That's the key here, right? What I might wear here, okay, in a video, I wouldn't wear necessarily to Good Day DC. All right. Or to MSNBC. I wouldn't wear this today to MSNBC. But there, I might wear a suit or something like that. Or just something a bit more stylistically that makes sense for the occasion. This is a reunion. We're looking for reunion gown, okay? Something that is going to sit well, right? And photograph well, but the photograph is not the most important thing. The most important thing will be how you look when you're sitting. So I can't wait to see that. How you look in 3D. I can't wait to see that. And then how you look in conjunction with the rest of the ladies. And she just looks out of place. Here, she doesn't look bad. But again, it is veering into the costume territory. It's giving costume. And when you're giving costume, when you're supposed to be giving high fashion, we can see it. Everyone can see it. And it's shocking to me that she could not. Now, I'm assuming the headpiece maybe was Schiaparelli. Schiaparelli is high-end designer, but still, you got to know when and where to and how to do this. And this, it's giving mermaid, it's giving aqua woman, it's giving I don't know what it's giving. But it's feeling a little Party City. Okay? Down by the boardwalk, under the sea. So she clearly can photograph well, right? The hair looks great here. In those photos for the reunion, the hair looked very limp. The hair was secondary to whatever was happening with the headpiece and the outfit itself. Even the outfit in the reunion photos, it doesn't do it justice as it does here in this photo. Right? And so you got all of these amazing looks in this photograph, but babes, how is this going to translate to when you're sitting down? For three episodes. Kenya has commented and said, yep, she was a fairy. Yo, why did I not see Kenya's comment earlier? It's definitely giving fairy tale. All right. Fairy godmother. Just it's just not fair. How about that? It's just not fair. Yo, how I actually just take out my whole that's what I get. That is what I get. That's what I get. That's what I get. That is what I get. Abu says, you're trying to be nice. No one should wear this outfit ever for anything. Auntie needs to dress her age, not Portia's. I mean, I don't know that she's how old is Phaedra? How old is the Fedra? I don't think she's that much older than Porsha. You know? Yeah, I mean, fairy. Claudia has commented, sips. Rox says she looks like her head is gonna start flapping and she's gonna fly, I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away. Ay. Anyway, I tried. Y'all not feeling it. Y'all, 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 we y'all don't understand the fashions like Phaedra. This is about to be the new Phaedra photo, okay? This is the new one. Woo! All right. So there's that. Okay. In other you should have known better news, I don't even have my teacup or my coffee cup up here so that I could really sip and see, to quote Phaedra. Simon now feels as though Porsha targeted him from day one for financial reasons and believes that she did not pay his child support in good faith. And he 100% regrets marrying Porsha after only having courted her for 30 days. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. If I've said it once, I will say it again. Why would you think that after 30 days it would be a good idea? It would be prudent, especially when you consider yourself, as he says in the interview, someone who knows about relationships. Why would you then get engaged to someone that you have only been courting for 30 days? In 30 days, I ain't even seen you mad yet. In 30 days, I ain't even heard you poop yet. Okay. And I know y'all gonna think that, I mean, that may be TMI, but that's real talk. These are the real aspects, the day-to-day aspects of the reality of a person that you are intending to spend the rest of your life with. At this big age, why would you not think to protect yourself, your family, your assets, if this is what you are now thinking that she was targeting you in a coup? Yes, he equated this whole thing to a coup. You know, where typically a coup is where a government is overthrown, a person in power is overthrown. I mean, the analogy for even that is crazy to me, because in order for it to be a coup, that would have to mean that she took you out of power. I mean, what did you expect, my friend? What did you really expect from someone that you don't really know all that well? And this is not me. This is not a knock at Porsha. This is just a reality check for someone who is in his position to make these claims, to have these regrets at this point. Especially for someone who would say that he has U-Hauls ready to move people out. So let's get into all of the things he had to say. So he did an interview with I think it was Page 6, right? And he believes he was targeted for financial reasons from day one. Must be the money. He claims that he was totally blindsided by Porsha filing for divorce. This comes into a stark contrast to what she said in her interview with People that made it seem as though they had had conversations or some level of discourse about something that led up to this. He says that after filing, he repeatedly asked for reasons, but did not get an answer. He allegedly reached out to Porsha's mom, Miss Diane. And then after not even receiving a response from her, he says that he sent a text saying that this was a $5 million rehab project that he took on and he said that out of frustration. So, but you willingly took it on. Did you saw the prenup? You both signed the prenup. So I'm trying to understand where in this was there not a complete understanding of what it is that she would have wanted in the event that this didn't work out. To carry on, he says he was targeted. This is what he believes. Then he talks about how Porsha slid into his DMs following his divorce from his ex-wife, Fallon, saying that he was in a vulnerable position at the time, so he entertained it. He says, quote, "I was out of my GD mind after reflecting on getting engaged to Porsha after just 30 days of courtship. He feels as though he was out of his mind." Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. My friend. Money can buy you class. Shamar says he already accused Fallon of using him for money. He got with Porsha to get back at Fallon, allegedly, and Porsha saw an opportunity. Fair exchange is no robbery. My God, my God, my God, my God, my God, my God. Let's continue on because there's more. He feels that he will be appealing the judge's decision to grant Porsha $40,000 per month for 14 months because he believes that he has been swindled by Pusha P. Porsha. Swindled. The swindler of it all. Then he talks about, her paying that child support. Remember we talked about that I think it was maybe last week or the week before, confirming that she had sent funds to his ex-wife while he was in the ICE custody. He says that Porsha sent $2 $2,500 payments in the same month, which wasn't enough to cover his boy's expenses. He says it was done in bad faith to save face for court. Simon. I mean, oh my God, man. Let me tell you. This situation to me is all types of strange. And for somebody that has spent, that has had so many marriages, in the past, and to be as quote unquote rich as he is, for me, I kind of feel like you should probably have done some due diligence in this situation. Hopping from one marriage to another, to an engagement in this way, and if you tell it like you telling it, if she hopped into your DMs after 30 days of being divorced, or however long you were divorced, and she hopped into your DMs, then why aren't you at any point in time on the lookout for people who may be, if you feel like you were targeted now, like, why aren't you on the lookout for people that want to be around you for your money? You know what I'm saying? Like, you, as a businessman, I would think that you would be like on top of stuff like that, right? You got advisors or people like that to help you manage your money that would probably be in your close circle. Like, hey, bro, like maybe you should slow down a little bit. Because at this point in time, if you're like in your 60s, like I would expect the wisdom to be the guide for you. And it sounds like, wisdom is chasing you, but you might be running faster. Simply Shamar says, side note, good luck getting those settlement payments from Nigeria if he don't pay. I mean, that was what I was wondering. I was like, you I mean, will he pay? Like, is there any like is there if he's not coming back to the United States, but I would have to wonder if he is going to at some point, would he at some point try because his kids are here? I'm just wondering like how that's gonna work. And then for me, I'm also thinking to myself though, if he doesn't have any intentions to come back, I mean, what would be would he be in danger if he ever tried to come back? Because if you've been deported, I mean, can you ever come back? And so then if you don't pay, what is Portia's recourse for getting what she feels like she's owed, right? Is there anything she can do? Probably. I mean, I don't know at this point, but if he's sitting pretty in Nigeria or wherever he may dwell, then what is who's going to enforce this money? Who's going to enforce this? So it sounds like mm, hmm, hey, must be the money. Okay. Must be the money. I just feel like, homeboy, you should have you gotta think about when he reflects on this situation, at the very least, I would think like the next time you get involved with somebody, just really be mindful of that. And that goes for her too. Like next time you get involved with somebody, like you got to understand that person's full backstory. And I'm talking about in general, people should do this, but especially if you are somebody who has a lot of assets, you are on the world stage as a housewife on a major network, you just got to do your due diligence with these people that you are now signing signing off to spend the rest of your life with. I just feel like, at this point, let it be over. Let it be over, okay? All right, so our last and final for the moment. All right. Who knows what'll happen later? Um so I'm trying to understand something. Um we have a sneak peek for the new episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and in it we see Shamia is preparing for a showcase. Now, maybe we haven't gotten this scene yet, but from what I hear, okay, where is Drew's showcase? Was Drew not supposed? Did Drew not mention a showcase? I could have swore Drew was gonna say was supposed to have a showcase. Am I incorrect on that? Was I the only person that remember hearing that? Somebody let me know in the chat. I could have swore. I could have swore that Drew had mentioned a showcase. Okay, good. I knew I wasn't the only person. I knew it. Who said that? I knew I wasn't. Okay. So I got to look at something with Drew, and I'm putting some pieces together. I'm putting some pieces together now. Drew, while the optics of the season happened to kind of go in her favor for the most part, remember how I had been questioning like, where is Drew in the press rounds? Why is Drew sitting on the end at the reunion? But when I look at this season, I gotta tell you guys, Drew is the only person. If there is no showcase in this finale, and only Shamia is having a showcase, that would mean that Drew had not one event during the entire season. Not only has she not had one event, she has been late to every event this season. So I don't know, Tatiana. I'm starting to lift an eyebrow. Okay. I'm starting to lift an eyebrow in the opposite direction. At first, I was thinking justice for Drew, and I still love Drew. The album is a banger. Exactly. Is it the network or is it Drew? Who indeed is the drama here? Because I gotta now. As I'm thinking back, I'm really thinking back. Every lady on this show has had an all cast event. Shamia, Porsha, Kelly has had several. Even Kenya had an event. Cynthia has had, Britt has had an event. I mean, quiet as it's kept, Lauren almost really had an event. I mean, you couple that in with Porsches, but Drew has not had one all cast event. Now, it would feel to me that it's usually probably I don't know if it's a requirement or not, but it just seems like that's something that seems to be standard. Everybody hosts something, right? She's maybe had people in different scene, if like people that came to the studio earlier on, but that wasn't an all casting. Um, so I have to ask, Drew, maybe you are at the end because maybe you didn't do everything that you needed to do during this season. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just taking an educated guess here. Okay. Well, she did have a drop it with Drew events before. I remember that. But even on these other events, it felt like Drew was late. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. And so then that also makes me wonder, maybe perhaps she was also invited to Watch What Happens Live earlier in the season and maybe didn't go. Maybe there was a schedule because she does a lot of filming and stuff like that. So she does other shows. We do know that. So I'm sure there's probably some license for her to be able to move around in a little bit of a different way because she does work. She has shows on other networks. She films the movies and things like that. I know at some point during the season, well, I think that was actually this year that she filmed something with Candy, but was it this year or last year? I can't recall. What I do know is this. I've got to start asking some questions now that I'm at the end of the season. If I don't see Drew with her showcase or Drew having something by the end of the season, I got to wonder if Drew is the drama. I got to wonder. I got to wonder. That's just me. That's just me. That is just me. She's on a show. She has quite a few shows. She has a movie out. I think it's called Run. I'm about to tell you because I do see. Listen, I like Drew. I really do. But I think that Drew also has her own. Drew has her own things with her that I feel like also sometimes prevent her from excelling. In my personal opinion, right? She has the show on Bounce TV called Mind Your Business. She's doing that. I know she's constantly performing her songs at the festivals and things like that. So there's that. She had a movie come out called End Zone. Wait. Yeah, it's a movie coming out called End Zone. So I'm sure she filmed that last year. There was another movie, I thought it was called Run. Where is it at? I'm trying to find it. Give me 1 second. So she's got the things going on, but I don't know if I mean having that level of like time conflict and commitment conflict, I don't know that that's going to be good for her in the long. Yeah, it is called Run. The movie was called Run. It's in theaters in 2025. She did say that as well. So she's been doing the things. So I just feel like, but girl, like hosting an event should not be a big deal for you. Movie with Claudia Jordan. I'm reading through some of your comments. TR says, I can see why Ralph manages the money. How she filming, filing unemployment and filming all these shows. She took out a 6-figure loan and whoa. I didn't know that. I mean, maybe, but at the end of the day, I mean, at the end of the day, I would have had an exclusive like listening session for the ladies for everybody. And I feel like even with something like that, you have a few bottles of champagne, You invite them over to the studio, have a few, and then she invited some of the ladies, but I would have made it maybe a bigger thing. Some bottles of champagne, lots of champagne. Let me tell y'all something about hosting an event. Okay. Thank you, Leslie. Let me tell you something about hosting an event. Now, I don't know much about algebra, okay, as Beyonce says, but I know a thing or two. If you host an event and you have the bottles, you have some light nosh, all of this can cost you less than, I mean, if money's tight, you can do this for well under $500. You want to go a little bit more extravagant, you can have it for about $1,000. You can have stuff catered for this small of a group. You could have had that thing catered for under $1,000. And if you really wanted to have some things pop off, you have everybody take shots when they walk in the door. Because Shamia is always screaming shot o'clock. Shamia will scream shot o'clock if nothing is happening. Nothing's happening. No one. Shamia, shot o'clock. Okay. So I mean, let's get into it. Let's really get into it. Let's talk about it. Right? You have shot o'clock. Okay. As soon as these people walk through the door, if you ever hosting an event and everything ain't working out right, okay. Let's say you ain't got everything. You couldn't meet all the budget, but you got people coming over to your house. If you really want to like entertain the folks, let's say the food not even ready yet. Have them people have shots when they walk in the door. See how that changed the energy. All right. Everybody gonna be having fun. And you almost forget that that everything ain't in place. Because the people be so liquored up. You got to liquor these people up. And when you liquor them up, now I ain't telling you to, have them pass on the glory, but I'm just saying, get them like, shot o'clock it up, in the words of Shamia. It don't take that much. And the music is so bomb. You already filming with Dennis. So girl, go all the way with it now. Have Dennis host it with you. Really, if you want to get under Porsha's skin, really, that's what you should have done. Girl, I'll give you something to cry about. Dennis and me hosting a listening session at the studio. You are welcome to come. You more than welcome. Bring a date. Bring Ty. Bring Ty and Ming. I'll bring Mimi, Faust. How about that? Everybody, come one, come all. Ralph is even welcome to come out of the basement. Let's really get this thing started. That's how you do it, Drew. That's how you do it. You hit these mofos in the mouth, okay? You hit these mofos in the mouth and then have them lick it up and show up at the studio. Let's get it popping. Ding, 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 Shawnee. That was all you needed to do, Drew. That was all you needed to do. You could have lit that show up. Can y'all imagine the chaos if she and Dennis had hosted a listening session right after Shamia and Porsha met up with Ralph? Baby, I would have lit that thing up. I'll tell you what we're going to do, and we're going to play y'all the good music, okay? We're going to play y'all the album music that ain't even finished yet. Y'all going to hear it, and y'all going and I guarantee you, Porsha might have been so mad she might not have showed up. But it don't matter because you would have invited Ralph. Let's still have this mother trucker going, okay? But I just feel, bring Mama D. Bring Mama D in. I mean, bring Fallon. If you really want to go there, if you really wanted to go there, bring Fallon on along to the studio too. Let's get it cracking. That's how you produce a scene right there. So if you ain't got the budget, create chaos. Just my thought. Yes, they could have been taking shots of Inyak as soon as they walked in the door. Y'all ain't maximized this opportunity. Dennis trying to get all his businesses in and promoted and stuff like that. I mean, this would have been the way. You taking shots of Yak as soon as y'all walk up in that thing. Watch the fireworks fly. Watch them. Okay, now check that. They do. Listen, I be trying to tell these people, okay? This is what the folk want to see. We can make a show without having, it ain't got to be dirty. We ain't got to pay nobody to come in and say somebody's husband is cheating. We gonna make the drama out of what we already got cooking, period. But we gonna take it further and we gonna really set it off, because that was real. Porsha was, she was big mad about that situation. Shamia and Porsha did meet up with Ralph. Drew was working with Dennis. They did the music. It's amazing music. Why would you miss an opportunity? I'm about to throw this whole thing in your face, girl. Now what? What you got to say now? I'm working with your baby daddy. Cheers to the girls' weekend. I'm working with your baby daddy, girl. How about that? The truth is much more interesting than concocted lies. Say it again. Say it, say it, say it again. Boom, boom, pow. Boom, boom, pow. Let me tell y'all a little something. Cheers to the girls' weekend. You ain't got to spend an arm and a leg to look good. Let me tell you about I'm gonna give y'all some clues on this outfit right here. Okay. All right. So this right here, I believe this is a Shein special right here. But this thing done lasted me because I know how to wash it. Right? This shirt is Gucci. But hold on. I ain't paying retail for this. No, I did not. I went right down to the Gucci outlet in the Sawgrass Mills, down to the Florida, and I got it on the sale. Okay? You can look good on a budget. You can mix and match, and you can make these things pop. This ring right here, yes, Amazon, bam, mix and match. Boom. People don't be knowing. Don't know what to do. It's all in how you wear it, right? I ain't got to pay a stylist. You ain't got to pay no stylist to look good. If you know how to wear it, you ain't got to worry about them making it in your size. If you got the coin, you ain't got to have no coin because you know how to work your stuff. You got to know how to work it. You don't need 50 a stylist. No, girl. Get you a mood board from the Pinterest. Find lookalikes. Okay. Whew. Sometimes you got, and that's what it is. Style over fashion. So what I'm saying to you guys is this. The material is there to have had an even more exciting season. And this message is for Drew. I don't know if the drama is them or if it's you. But what I do know is next season, you need to start this thing off with a bang. You need to hire a band. I know we just said we talked about the budget, but work with me. Dennis gonna finance it because he want to be on the show. I think. Maybe, allegedly. I don't know. But he seems like a businessman, so I'm sure he would finance it. Start the season off with your own showcase. Do the songs from your album. And then have a very interesting guest list. You want to set this thing on fire or not? Listen to me when I tell you, this will be the easiest thing to do. Easiest thing to do. Again, shots of Inyak as soon as everybody walk in the door, and we got some surprise guests for y'all. Who could it be? Atlanta is huge. Anybody could be there. All right? You can live a Cristal life on a Budweiser budget. You better tell them. Let them know. Let them know. Yeah, bring everybody. Bring everybody out. Let everybody come out to play on this one. We about to make this thing pop. All right. Anyway, y'all, listen. I'm just messing with y'all at this point. I'm having a good time. Thank you guys for tuning in today, being turned up with me and just getting it in and kicking it. We have fun on this channel. If you ain't noticed, if this is your first time here, make sure you slap that like button, smack it, flip it, rub it down, all of that good stuff, because we like to stay in the algorithm. Also, if you're new here, don't take offense to anything that I say. This is all in good fun. We have a good time over here and we do it our way, right? Also, make sure you guys have subscribed if you haven't already done so. And of course, keep it locked to the channel because we have a good time on a day-to-day basis. And the shows keep coming. We recap shows like Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives, well, the ones we'd be interested in, Married to Medicines, and sometimes we'll do an occasional rant about something else that we find exciting, and we have a good old time here. You can be any age range to tap in with the Big Back Cadillac News, but the age ranges that I think hit the best are between the 30s, 40s, 50s range, 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like people that's experienced a little bit of life, because I'm going to throw out some old references from the 80s on up. You never know. Okay. That's just how I am. And if you're from the country, even better. All right. But we'll take anybody from all over the world because we love you. But anyway, like I was saying, make sure you guys keep it locked on the channel, and I will catch you all in the next video.